What's up, GH peeps? What's happening? It's your girl, Taweri Babes, coming at you with a late night review for Hump Day. That's right, folks. It's Wednesday, June 19th, 2024. I hope you guys had an amazing Wednesday. I had a pretty good Wednesday. I cannot complain. I'm gonna keep it real with you peeps. So yesterday's show was kind of difficult. I felt like I was really intense about a lot of the stories. I went to bed thinking, oh, I'm going to wake up. I'm only going to have 2 subscribers. Everybody's going to be so mad at me. I'm going to have 0 likes. For real. Because sometimes I feel like I get so passionate and I don't want to ostracize you guys away and be like, oh, she's so negative. But this writing is just, it's giving me hives, guys. Not hives in the physical sense, but just like, for real, y'all. Like, Sonny, today. Why did Sonny need to be on the scene? And why did he need to be talking to Brooklyn about a situation about Finn? And why was Brooklyn telling him about Finn? To me, did not think that was necessary. Especially coming from a man that's going around town beating up on people while drinking on his bipolar medicine, knowing how he is, So you can look at Finn's life and say that, but you are out here actually practicing violence, threatening people's lives, unaliving people in front of your grown daughter, or threatening to unalive people in front of your own daughter. So I was just looking at that scene like, really? I understand that they have to rotate the actors out, and I guess it was Sonny's turn, but I didn't need that. I just look like that's my highlight. I'm gonna talk about some other highlights as we talk about today's show, but that I just was like, bro, you have no room to talk about substance abuse and drink and period, because you're out here beating up on people, not going to jail, and you have a whole child living with you while you are going down the bipolar spiral. And yes, they have portrayed Sonny being a lot more level, and I really don't get that when he hardly has any medications in him at all. It could be that he's sober. I don't know. We haven't really shown too much of Sonny since his blow up in front of Christina and him threatening to unalive Dex and Jason. So I just found it, I didn't want to hear from him on this part. And I don't think it was a good idea for Brooklyn to talk to him about it, because I know she's married into the family, but I think she needs to let Chase take the lead on this, because I feel like Sonny put a little ideal into her head, and if Brooklyn tries to do something like, let's say, take Violet, hide Violet, Finn finds out. In Finn's case, Finn's situation right now, oh, I could see him definitely pressing charges on Brooklyn for kidnapping. I could see that. I could see that. As angry as he is, as sick as he is right now, because I'm not going to act like Finn ain't got no issues. He really does. But at this point in his mind, oh, you kidnapped my kid, I'm pressing full charges. And what's Chase going to do? He has to go along with that because she broke the law. And we all know Brooklyn does not make the best plans. I'm going to leave it at that. Please leave your highlights and comments in the comment section. I really do truly appreciate you guys for bearing with me when I went through my little emotional tirade about the craziness of this writing and Sam and all of these things. And I appreciate every single subscription, every single like, and every single comment. And welcome new subscribers. Hi! Welcome to the couch. But anyway, guys, let's get into it, okay? So the show starts off at the Metro Court pool. And early is on time, and on time is late. The great words of Auntie Lois. So Jill has been coming in early, like super early, like 9 o'clock, even though the pool don't open till 10. Joss is coming in around 9:50. And she tells Gio how she's super competitive and has to find a way to do better. Now, guys, I know they are writing Gio. I don't know. Okay, so a lot of people are saying it's obvious that they're writing Gio for Trina. Are they? Are they writing him for anybody? Because all we see is him and Joss talking like every single day. I think him and Trina have only had 2 interactions compared to the 1,000 interactions between Joss and him. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. And I don't feel the chem between him and Trina, but I don't honestly feel any chemistry between him and Joss either. So I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if this is supposed to be the Trina and Gio story, where's it at? Where's it at, writers? Where's it at? Where's it at? Because to me, the last time they were hanging out, I was not feeling the chemistry. Guys, let me know what y'all think, because I wasn't feeling the chemistry. Maybe somebody else was like, no, it's where I felt it. I ain't feeling that. But back to the story, we finally get to see beautiful little Avery, guys. Where has she been? So Avery is coming in for her swimming lessons with Daddy Sonny, and surprisingly enough, well, I guess I shouldn't say surprisingly, Joss is very cordial. She takes Avery to her swim classes, and she doesn't give Sonny the ugly look or anything. Gio and Sonny discuss Gio going out on his own and using a scholarship to go to PCU. Sonny wants to know why does Gio not want to, get help with why is he using a scholarship, and does he not just want to be bothered with Sonny anymore? And I'm like, a little insecurity there. Gio wants to pay his own way. Sonny's been doing everything for him, and he wants to do it on his own now. And oddly enough, Sonny understands, because that's how he is. So my question is, then why was the question brought up? In walks Natalie, who's talking about a missing Brooklyn at the studio session, and then backs it up with, oh, but yeah, I know it was because of your the passing of your father-in-law. And I'm once again saying to myself, well, then why did you bring it up? She runs into Sonny, who is checking out her stack rack. I'm sorry, guys. I know when the camera panned at his eyes was looking somewhere else. But I'm looking at his eyes, and I watched it several times. He was looking right at the tatas, okay? Just staring right at the tatas. I mean, the tatas was in his face, but he's like this, staring right at the tatas until the camera panned and he's looking somewhere else. At least to me, okay? Natalie confesses that she underestimated Christina and sings the song and dance on how a blaze was lit up and Christina saved the studio time, and how they must really love each other, but doesn't mention the nastiness that she did after, telling Christina to please break her daughter's heart. Her and Sonny, well, I can say Sonny, there was definitely some flirtatious going on there, you know what I'm saying? And Sonny asked how does she really feel about the girls' relationship. And Natalie tells him where she grew up, where she was brought up, it was just not that accepting. And guys, I don't know. There's some travelers out here. I haven't really traveled to Puerto Rico, so I don't know. But I know it's strong Catholic, so I don't know. They might be. I might be just thinking of Brazil. I could be wrong. I don't know. But y'all let me know if y'all know Puerto Rico being, like that. I don't know. I cannot say. I know America still has its issues, so. But Sonny tells her that, he understands because it's where she grew up at. But she says that she tells him that she's evolving. I said, yeah, into a monster, because she definitely ain't evolving to anything good. She's evolving into a monster. But let her play this, pretty face for Sonny. But it's a struggle. Sonny says the girls have to figure that out. And she's like, yeah, but then that means I can't control the situation. And we all know how I like to control the situation. If controlling the situation, Natalie, is what you want to call it, then okay. We'll call your homophobia controlling. I should have said it. I'm sorry, guys. I should have said that. It just slipped on out the tongue. But I ain't taking it back, okay? So she heads out and hands Sonny the thumb drive because she has to go approve some stills of Blaze for their photo shoot. And she hands it and asks him to give it to Brooklyn. And Sonny's like, yo, yeah, I'll do it if you invite me out to the release. And she's like, I think I will. We know she will. So, Gio and Joss discuss Uncle Sonny and how he feels like, you know, man as powerful as him. He always has people asking him to do things for him, i.e. Joss. Did I say that? Did I say that? Yeah, I did. But once again, she doesn't bash Sonny. And all I gotta do is say thank you. Because all of that bashing him was getting real tiring. It was getting real tiring. Real tiring, okay? So, meanwhile, Brooklyn walks in, sees Sonny, and I guess she calls Natalie the wedding date. And Sonny's like, you're never going to call her by her name? No, no, no. Her name is wedding date. Okay? And y'all tell me, but I do not think it was right that Brooklyn told Sonny about the situation that's going on with Finn. I don't even think Chase would like to know. Chase would like Sonny in his family's business. That might be Brooklyn's grown up Uncle Dimples, but this is Chase's family situation. And he barely wanted to tell Stella that it was Finn. He barely wanted to tell Stella. But we have Brooklyn just beep, 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 beep. But y'all tell me what y'all think, okay? Because I know I can be, yeah, anyway, y'all tell me what y'all think. Oh, and I added, we all know he had a terrible experience with his alcoholic stepdad. I'm not going to even sit there and act like that's not part of his pain. That's a big part of Sonny's pain. A big part of Sonny's pain was from his alcoholic stepdad. But was it her business to tell Sonny? And I told y'all before, I told y'all at the beginning. And Sonny could have also talked about why he was talking about his stepdaddy. He could have talked about little redhead Michael watching his stepdaddy throw stuff around, demean his mother when he was on his alcoholic rages. How little redhead Michael had to grow up in that home. Not all his life, because Carly was like, but for the, I watched those scenes. I watched little Michael throwing stuff down, acting angry like his stepdad, like his dad, Sonny, while his dad was going on bingers. I would have felt, I'm going to keep it real with you peeps. I would have felt that that had more meaning to the present time than him talking about his stepdad. His stepdad was beating on him. It was pretty horrible. Locking him in closets. Hurting his mom. Finn ain't nothing like that. Finn ain't nothing like that. If they wanted to bring Sonny into the play, if they wanted to bring Sonny into the story, then Sonny should have been talking about his times with Michael, and Michael seeing him at his worst. Okay? Because those scenes were pretty bad. And Michael was privy to a lot of it. And I'm going to leave it alone. But Sonny ends up handing Brooklyn the thumb drive. He tells Brooklyn to handle it. And that got me worried, because I'm like, oh my God. Brooklyn probably going to sidestep the law, which won't make Chase happy at all. Because let's put it in picture. Brooklyn takes Violet and takes her to the Quartermaines. Finn freaks out, doesn't know where his daughter's at, and calls the police. Chase hears about Violet missing. Thinks maybe Finn left her, and then that's when Brooklyn has to say, oh, well, see, what happened was I had a conversation with my Uncle Sonny Dimples, and, I just had to do something. So Violet's with me at the Quartermaines. What? What? And this could be a thing for Chase where he could be like, this was for my niece, so I'm going to let you do it. I don't think he will, though. Chase is straight and narrow, okay? or somebody's going to find that Violet's over there. The police are going to be caught. Finn, in his situation, I don't see why he wouldn't press charges on Brooklyn. As angry as he is, and as angry as he already feels about somebody taking her, Violet, his baby, I don't see why he would have any issues pressing charges on Brooklyn, which would put Chase in a compromising situation where he would have to go and arrest his wife. I'm hoping she doesn't do it, but we all know Brooklyn, guys. We all know Brooklyn, okay? But I just see this causing more problems, especially if she tries to do something on her own. I think she should follow her husband's lead, just like her mama told her, just like her grandma told her, follow your husband's lead. This is his family. I'm not saying that she don't have a right to have an opinion, but when it comes to actions like this, she should not take it upon herself, because that's foolhardy and it could cause a lot more problems. What if Finn gets freaked out and starts looking for Violet and gets in an accident? It's just so much that could fall right back on her. And this situation is bad enough. It's just bad enough. Plus, while she's sitting here talking to Uncle Dimples, he's out here beating up on people and drinking on his bipolar meds. I mean, like, honey, you need to be thinking about Avery. Because we all know who's home she with. She's home with Ava and bipolar Sonny. It ain't the Avery. All I'm saying is that Avery ain't really in no better situation. Yeah, she has her mom. But her mom, Ava's on some BS too, okay? But I'm going to move on. I'm going to get off of it. I'm going to get off of that story. And we're going to head on and say, meanwhile, we're going to Alexis's office. Because before Brooklyn went to talk to Uncle Dimples, her and Chase went to see Alexis to discuss her meeting with Finn, which didn't go too well at all. And she, she shows in the medal that Gregory gave her. And I'm like, girl, nobody cares about that stupid medal. I shouldn't call the man stupid medal, but whatever. She lets him know that Finn is in big denial and that there aren't any magic words that can force him to getting into rehab. Brooklyn brings up their concern with Violet, and she asked him, well, have you noticed anything, any discrepancies with care, any violent acts, any changes in anything when it comes to her? No. Not yet, but no. And I'm not saying that Finn's going to hurt that girl, but he could accidentally oversleep and leave her at school, leave her at her school program, not pick her up on time from childcare, daycare, pass out drunk in front of her, pass out drunk in a car while she's sitting in the car next to him. And he don't even have to be driving, but he could be passed out drunk in a car with his daughter till the police come, and he has to do a roadside, and she has to watch her daddy get handcuffed for a DUI. And if you're asking, is this stuff, can that stuff happen, or has it happened? Yes. Guys, I work in I ain't gonna bring up my work, but y'all know what I do for a living. And yes, it does happen. Yes, parents have been under the influence and passed out in the car with their kids in the car. Or in an accident with their kids in the car while they're intoxicated on some form. So these things could happen. They haven't happened, but the man's drinking tequila like to kill yourself. Chase wants some advice on what to do about Violet and keeping her safe. Alexis tells him that family law is not what you expect. True. It is not. It is not what you expect at all, okay? Reporting a child's parent to CPS does not always guarantee the protection of the child. And as a foster parent and a person that works in women and children, I can attest to that. The system is so broken, guys. It is so broken. Sometimes they move these kids out to worse homes. Sometimes they don't remove the kids at all. There are good situations where the kids do get to go home, get to go into a loving family until mom or dad can get it together. I know in the state that I live in, our state is bring the family back together. reunification, 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 reunification. So the courts and the state will do everything they can to get this parent into shape so they can get this baby back home, or this kid back home. So like 30-day, 90-day rehab, kids going back home regardless. We are big in reunification. And I'm an ex-foster parent. I say ex because I got tired of watching kids being funneled through the system where they're just going back and forth from one broken home to another broken home. And when I say the broken home, because their family, some parents just can't kick the habit. They just can't get it together. And these kids have to bounce back and forth to they go home to a good foster parent home where they're getting, regular love and care, not the care and love that they would get from their parents. And a lot of kids do struggle with that. But then they have to go move back into a parent that they want to be home with, but ain't all the way right. And it's just a vicious cycle, back and forth and back and forth. So the system is broken. So I do have to agree with Alexis on that. She mentions the fact if they take Violet out of the home, she could either end up in a group home or foster care. Now, I don't know about the state of New York, but in the state that I live in, they don't do that. If they have a family member, a distant family member, they will place that child, as long as that family member can pass a background check, that child's going home. They don't care if that family member lives in a one-bedroom house. They don't care. That kid's going to them. And the state will provide them, well, sometimes. They provide them with everything that kid needs until they can figure out what to do with mom or dad, for that matter. So I don't know what the state of New York looks like, and I didn't have a time to really look and see. But I know in the state that I live in, that don't happen. Like I said, we are a reunification state. So our job is to make it so that our child can come home safely, hopefully. Yeah, but like I said, but this could be a New York law, so I'm going to digress and let that be. She tells them to contact a licensed social worker. Yeah, they should. I would hand that Chase was very smart going to Stella. He didn't want to put it into the CPS eyes right now because, guys, half the time, I'm just going to say I've seen situations where kids have went home with meth parents. And as long as the parent hasn't did anything to hurt this child, kid's going home. And what I mean by that, I mean mom is testing positive for meth. Kids go home. I've also seen parents that are tested for positive for marijuana. CPS is involved. Now, I'm not saying every case is like that, but I've seen a lot that is. And it's very disturbing. So once again, I don't know about the state of New York, but I do know about our state. Okay? Reunification is a must. That's all they'll tell you. Chase knows who to contact, and Brooklyn heads to the Metro Court to see Natalie because Natalie's blowing up her phone. Meanwhile, this is weird. I guess I didn't finish. Meanwhile, we'll go back to Alexis Davis's office because Killer Miller brings good news and some so bad news. Alexis cannot open that letter. She just cannot. Not at all. So Diane does tell her that she'll open it for her. And while she's opening the letter, Alexis is holding on to Gregory's medal. And she tells her the good news. The court has vacated her disbarment. Yay! Alexis can be a lawyer again, and we don't have to hear anything else about this story. Praise God. But bad news is she's got 2 years suspension. And Alexis is like, well, you know what? I've waited this long. What's another 2 years? But since it already started 4 years ago, she's all in the clear. And Alexis is like, girl, you playing a dirty pool game. And Diane's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But you know how Diane is. She loves to go in for the big win. So all Alexis needs to do is study and get her bar license, and she is on her way. Yay! She's happy, they happy, we all happy. And it's just in time, guys, for her to assist at least one of her daughters in the pending future custody court case for little baby Christina. We're going to call her baby Christina because we don't know what the child's name is. And that got me thinking, so are they going to bring back Rick Lansing to stand up for Molly? Wouldn't that be interesting, guys? What if the guy they're talking about bringing back is Rick Lansing, and Rick has to go against Alexis? I mean, because it's not going to be fair if Alexis stands up for Christina and defends her and just leave go because Molly's a good lawyer, so she's going to represent TJ. Bring back Rick Lansing. As much as I am so disgusted with that character, it would be so awesome to have him back. Plus, it would be a little bit of a thorn in Sam's side because we all know Sam and Rick know each other very well. I'm being so happy. Okay, moving on. So we're going to head over to the Quartermaine stables. James tells Tracy that he jumped over a huge tree. And actually, it was a small branch. But Uncle Cody says, yes, I called him Uncle, it still counts as a jump. And high fives, James. I just think James is such a cutie, guys. Tracy is inspired and ready to ride. She calls Finn, who's been avoiding her calls. And, you know, I love when Tracy gets, first of all, I just love Tracy, okay? But she calls Finn and she's like, boy, why aren't you answering this phone? I've been calling you over and over again. I am worried about you. She walks in to see a distracted Cody, and they discuss Cody's father's story and the fact that he found his dad, but Dad does not know that he has a son. He's a great guy, but I lied to him instead of telling him the truth. Tells Tracy, what if he's furious at me because I lied? Tracy tells him, what if he's happy because he has a son? I'm just going to say, I'm tired of this grown man and his whining about him daddy and all his BS. Tracy tells Cody that he has a fresh opportunity to a fresh start. And I said, grow up here, bro. Just grow up here and tell him, Mac deserves to have a son, even if it is you. Because I ain't going to lie, I'm not a fan of Cody, but I am a big fan of Mac. Always have been a big fan of Mac. Give that man his own kid. I don't know who else would agree with me, but ever since the very beginning, I've always wanted Mac to have his own kid. Yeah, I like the fact that he raised half of the youngsters in GH. Well, not half, but we all know quite a bit. He needs his own kid. It's about time. It's about time. Cody, grow up here. Guys, Maxie looks phenomenal. Oh my God, her little skinny jeans. I was like, look at that little tush, girl. You killing it, Maxie. Guys, I am just loving this Maxie. She's fierce. She's beautiful. She's got her swag back. I mean, she's just swagging it out. And you know, 'cause I'm a juicy sister. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just appreciating the fact that she is embracing her juiciness. Now, I know a lot of people have said that she was going through some things and she chose to dress kind of big. I'm glad that's over because she looks hot. Good. She looks so hot. I was like, yes, that's my Maximista, honey. And I just love how Spinelli has stepped in for Bailey Lou. And guys, we got to see Bailey Lou. We ain't seen Bailey Lou in a long time. This child done grew up, honey, grown up. That means that when we see baby Amelia, she gonna be the same size as baby Lulu. Or whatever her name is. And guys, Mac is home. Mac is home. Mac is home. I'm so happy Mac is home, baby. Mac asks Finn, is he a permanent fixture or a temporary one? And Georgie's like, my dad stays here now. Mac like, what? Spinelli makes a prune excuse to disappear with baby Bailey Lou. And in walks James and Cody. Cody and Mac catch up, jobs, family, and James' big jump, which freaks Maxie out. As a mom, that would freak me out. Mac has been helping out a friend, and that's all he'll say. And I'm wondering, are they going to tie this friend visit into what's been going on with the WSB, Pikeman, and Anna? Inquiring minds want to know, because we ain't seen Robert lately either. So inquiring minds want to know if they're going to tag his absence in the visit to the friend with him helping Anna or Robert in this Pikeman WSB investigation. But nonetheless, even if they don't do it, I'm just happy to have Mac back. I forgot the actor's name. I mean, he just looks so good, guys. This man has battled serious cancer and he came back, fighting, looking good and amazing. Praise God. Cody heads out looking like, damn, that's my family. That's my dad. Guys, come on. Grow up here, Cody. Tell this man you know what this crazy thing is? Cody, you're right. He don't deserve you. No, you don't deserve Mac. But Mac deserves to have a son, even if it's you. And I know a lot of people like Cody. I'm just not a Cody person. Maxie tells Mac how great Cody is with James and the kids. And they talk about computer cookies and Spinelli. And Maxie don't know what they are. But I'm thinking it's a program that stores your browser history in your computer. But I thought it was a cute reference. That's why I put it in there. Max says it's because when Maxie's talking about how much the kids loves Cody and that Cody loves the kids, Max says it's because they're not his. Agreed. You play with them and then you send them home. It's so much more easier. I love being a grandparent. I ain't gonna lie. Maxie tells Mac that Cody is like a superhero, like her dad. Oh. Mac tells Maxie that she's the best mom ever. The convo goes back to Spinelli, and Maxie wants to know if Mac had anything to do with the Spinelli financial plan, which he didn't. That was Felicia's doing, darling. And I'm just going to add that I absolutely, absolutely love the Spinelli and Maxie family blending. It just makes sense. And it doesn't give you the queasy feeling of Sam and Dante and the cousin, brother, uncle. Because I even forgot about her messing with Rick and Sonny. Brothers, then son. That's just awful. I'm sorry. It is so awful. But anyway, I love, and don't get me wrong, I think Dante and Sam are cute. I do. It's just kind of incestuously to me. I don't know. They're just too close in family. I mean, come on. She's messed with this man's daddy and his brother. And had a baby by the daddy. Maybe they done made it, but still. So not hating on, I'm not going there. Sorry, guys. So, but like I said, I do love Spinelli and Maxie. And Felicia walks in, not sure why the cause of emergency was, but surprise, it's Mac! Mac Attack is back! Whoop, 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 whoop! But before all of that, Felicia going home, she was at General Hospital, and TJ and Stella and Felicia discussed helping a patient with Parkinson's disease that needs help filling out the SSDI application. Yes, guys, that is what we do. If we have a patient that has a medical concern or issue, we try to get him started. Well, that's what my job is. We try to, but I also sometimes tell the hospital social workers, can we get this ball rolling before this patient gets discharged so that I can just do the follow-up game? It broke my heart when they were talking about this guy having to hit his bank up and all that for loans to pay for his present bills. I don't know, like I said, New York's a lot different than a lot of other states. The state I live in, not bragging because we have our own issues, but you can't deny care for a patient regardless if they can afford to pay for it or not. We have to take care of that patient. We cannot discharge a patient in an unlivable state, if you get my drift. No, this patient might not be in the complete best of health. we do try to find charity rehabs that they can go into, and sometimes the ladies get lucky and they're able to get the patient into rehab where they can sit for a little bit longer to make sure they're strong. Sometimes that happens. The patient sadly does face a lot of bills after, but that's where we find financial assistance. A lot of our hospitals here where I stay at have financial assistance. It doesn't cover the scans and stuff, but it does cover a lot. And sometimes the doctors will also waive their fees. Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. But Felicia is getting used to her job while Maxie's still calling her. So the last story today, let me just make sure this is the last one. Yep, this is the last one. It's the Chase and Stella story. Stella is on her lunch. Chase meets Stella and they discuss Finn and the situation with Violet. But he doesn't tell Stella names or nothing like that till the very end. Chase says the environment is no longer safe for a little girl. Now guys, I'm going to keep it real. Stella asked the right questions. The right questions. Not saying Alexis didn't, because Alexis did too. But Stella, as a social worker, these are the questions we want to know. Is the child been neglected? Has the child been abused? Has the child been threatened? Is the child clean? Is there food in the home? Is the child scared? We ask these questions because before we do anything serious, one of these boxes need to be checked off. And of course, none of this has happened. At least not that Chase is aware of. And he's like, oh my God, I hope it doesn't have to get that bad. Unfortunately, in the real world, Chase, it does. Judges are not going to just take the kid out because mom and dad are having benders. So Stella was right about that. They're not. They would not remove a kid for that at all. If they were to bring this up to CPS right now, they would lose. Because they're not going to, especially CPS, they're not going to remove a kid just because daddy has a couple of drinks. Even though we know he's an addict and he shouldn't, she ain't lying. Stella does tell him to document everything. Get documentation of him being under the influence, of him acting irresponsibly. Sorry guys, oversleeping and not taking your daughter to the pool is not an act of irresponsibility. An act of crappy parenting, but not an act of irresponsibility. A judge will laugh that out of the courthouse. Chase has to build a case against his brother. And she's like, and that's what he tells Stella. And Stella's like, no, I want you to look at it as building a case for your niece. So I know that's not what Chase probably wanted to hear, but the flip side of this is that their hands are kind of tied. Judges do not sign removal of children for dad and mom having a bender, especially if dad and mom don't have no active DUIs, no signs of showing disorderly conduct, of hurting the child. If there's no actual signs of abuse, they ain't gonna get involved. They're not. So what she told him about building a case to help Violet, she ain't lying. You have to document everything if you legally want to help this child. And I know that's what Chase is going to want to do. Now, it could switch. I mean, he could be, okay, Brooklyn, I'm down with you kidnapping Violet. I just don't see that. Especially after he already had that conversation with her already. Yeah, I remember the conversation. I like Chase and Brooklyn. I don't want to see them separated. But I do know that Brooklyn often acts before she thinks. So this is going to be interesting how this plays out. I'm not saying that her wanting to protect Violet is a wrong thing, because it's not. That's her niece. You know what I'm saying? She loves this little girl, and like they had the backstory of her dealing with alcoholism in her family, and then Sonny's freaking her out while he's over here binging, drinking, and doing the worst not in front of his daughter, but his daughter lives with him. So I just don't think he has the right to say anything. But my opinion, guys. But yeah, today was a good story day. I think that is it. Let me look. Yep, that is it, peeps. That is the whole entire show. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me tonight. I really hope you have a good night's sleep and an even better day tomorrow. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Be blessed.